And today, obviously, I'm being joined by somebody right here. This is the winner, people, of our co-host for the day contest. I'm talking about Kemberlie.
I would say I really enjoyed the Jordan Spencer scene of him just kind of talking to him about like, oh, I don't have a guy.
Yeah. I feel like that potential like Jordan Spencer breakup is almost as hurt. Why does it feel even more sad than Liv and Spencer?
It does. It's weird.
Yes, sir. It is your boy KB, the boss from ShifterMagazine.com. Here with another episode of Shifter TV Talk, where we talk about the latest in some of our favorite TV shows. And so today we're talking about the mid-season finale of All American. And today, obviously, I'm being joined by somebody right here. This is the winner, people, of our co-host for the day contest. I'm talking about Kemberlie. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Before we get into our ups and downs, like tell the people about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do? All that good stuff.
Well, I'm from Houston, Texas. I am a freelance entertainment writer and journalist, and I am a social media manager. I've been here in Houston for all my life so far, and I've been in entertainment for the last 5 to 6 years now.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. So yeah, once again, very, very excited to have you here. So before we get to our ups and downs, I want to know on a scale of like 1 to 10, with 1 being like super casual fan and 10 being like super fan, like where are you on the range of like All American fandom?
I would say an 8. I don't think, I'm not in Discord. That's all I can say.
You're not in Discord. Okay.
No.
So let's get into these ups and downs actually, before we get to the ups and downs, like general thoughts and feelings about the finale, like this in your opinion.
Honestly, I didn't feel like it was a finale. I just kind of felt like it was a regular episode. Like I felt like there was drama, but it wasn't like it was. I didn't feel like it was like a big cliffhanger. Like, oh, okay. Where's the next episode?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think it's I mean, I think Jamie Turner wrote this episode. He sometimes in the past, like, fans have not loved how he's written finales, but I think with this one, I mean, it's mid-season, so technically it's not the finale. It's just kind of a little bit of a break. So yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was like a you don't get the usual cliffhangers of a finale, but still some good drama.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get in with these ups and downs. So for me, my ups are longer than my downs. I assume. Okay. I mean, maybe your list is the same way. I don't know.
A little bit.
So the first up that I had was Coop, and just the growth of her character. I feel like, man, like she has matured so well since the beginning. I mean, it's her even just being an artist, her going through a little bit of a gang phase, and then now just coming into where she is right now. Like I think it's just, and then even just within the episode, like she. There's a part where she kind of just really let her passion kind of, get away with her, and the prof kind of checked her a little bit, but then she kind of brought it right back, and she kind of learned the lesson and kind of ended off on a win. So I just feel like, Coop, just I love her character. She sometimes she exposes too much of Spencer's business when she doesn't need to, but I think in this episode and just over the season, like I just love the growth of Coop as an up.
For sure. I definitely enjoyed the Crown Act situation of the law, and I wish I saw more of it, like more of her with the mock court thing that they had dinner, but I did enjoy that part.
And the next up that I had was Grace, just Grace being on the episode. I find when shows just bring on mother figures, I find it just adds just an extra layer of just depth to the episode. Like Grace is always one who has wisdom. She has so much knowledge. She offers so much to the show, and Spencer's really, I mean, obviously Spencer has a lot of different relationships on the show, like being a football player and then having romantic relationships, but that relationship with his mom is just such a different, like she brings out a different side of him. I always love when those two are on screen together.
Yes, for sure. Even I was just saving for my up, but okay.
No, go ahead. We can share our ups.
I like Laura in a lip scene. I don't know if that was one of your ups, but that whole conversation, because we don't really see them have interaction with
Yes.
each other. And so I
Yes.
felt like the mothers were kind of nurturing this episode, especially, like Grace and Spencer and then Liv and Laura. So I felt like that was needed because they were on like two different paths of kind of figuring out what they need to tell their son and daughters just to get them through.
No, that's good. Like that's definitely I would agree that that's definitely an up. Like we don't see Liv and Laura on screen sharing those moments very often, but whenever they do, it's like, man, like that was like an amazing moment. Like I think we need more of that. And I mean, Jordan and Billy don't have a lot of those either.
Oh, let me be quiet. I was about to say, hold on there.
Okay. The next one is just Billy and the whole offer with GAU. Like I think that would offer such an amazing story to have him, because right now he's kind of off doing his thing, with at Crenshaw. But I think that's gonna bring you back to like those earlier seasons of like Crenshaw versus Beverly, like if you were in that role. So I just love that for him, and I love the growth. Again, like this show like offers its characters so much growth. Like there's always growth happening. Like every season, like they're growing and growing and growing. So just the idea of him in that job, I think would just like it. I think it would renew a little bit of excitement in the show. Like I feel like with the fan base this past season, like there was a little bit, the excitement waned a little bit for a lot of people, as you can see on Twitter.
Yeah.
But as you can see on Twitter. But I feel like that, like I feel like Spencer and him being together again would be magical for the show. I think it would renew a lot of excitement for people.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. I felt like they kind of set it up, to be honest, of him kind of coming back. And like I was like, okay, like if he comes back, I can see, because especially don't use Crenshaw like that. Like Preach, we don't really see Preach there anymore like that this season. So they were just kind of, and Jabari going to Coastal. So it's kind of like, what's the point of having Crenshaw when you could just kind of move him over there now? Definitely.
Do you want to share one of your ups now?
One of my ups, I would say I really enjoyed the Jordan Spencer scene. Of him just kind of talking to him about like, oh, I don't have a guy. And I feel like that was real, because like he doesn't, like he kind of said like, Billy, when he first came, Billy was his guy. And then he went back to Crenshaw. Billy went to Crenshaw for Spencer. And even, when Coach Montez came, that was Asher person. So it's like, he really didn't have that person, and you didn't really see that over the course. So hopefully with that whole conversation, I feel like that was kind of mature of him to like bring that up and tell him like, this is my thoughts, like this is my process of, like I may move, I may not, I'm just trying to decide because, I don't have that person for me.
Yeah. I feel like that potential like Jordan Spencer breakup is almost as why does it feel even more sad than Liv and Spencer?
It does. It's weird.
It's weird. Like I feel like just the thought sad. Like I feel more sad about that than I have been about like Spencer and Liv. I don't know why. I just feel so wrong. Like no, No.
Disclaimer: I love Spelivia. That's one of my ships on the show. So it was kind of sad because they have had a bond since season 1. Because they were enemies a little bit. Well, he was enemy to Spencer in the first half of the first season. And then now kind of having that brotherhood, it'll be very different, I feel. But yeah, I enjoyed that scene. And even I would say one of my ups is Spencer and Olivia scene of them at the end of, just kind of justifying everything and having that conversation. I felt that was like the right direction they kind of needed to maybe, get that ball rolling again to something else.
Yes. No, that was definitely on my list as well. And you mentioned for me, one of my ups was just Jordan coming into his own. You kind of you mentioned that with just the conversation with Spencer, but and also too just I think just Liv in this episode, like she going through just different kinds of emotions, like regretting the article, and then she's struggling to celebrate herself, and then the talk with Laura, and then her in the end. Even the talk with Jordan, and her finally come to this place of just being able to be proud of what she's done. Just that whole back and forth of emotions, and her finally coming to that place for me was definitely an up.
Yeah, for sure. Especially her in the Jordan scene. I feel like we don't really have that anymore. So I really enjoyed seeing them like have a conversation, especially like because some of his comments in the first half of the season has been like, ugh. I'm like, be a brother. But then like when he kind of was like, I'm proud of you, and he was proud of each other, it was just like, okay, I like that. And even with Liv, with the cupcake scene of her congratulating her own self, I felt like that was something she needed, because she didn't, like you said, she didn't feel like the article was, it was out, but she wasn't feeling it. So it was just like her just being happy with herself with it, and having the living cupcake. I felt that was really good.
Yeah, definitely. And the last up I had on my list, I think it's my last one. Yeah, my last up I had on my list was just Asher being in a position where he can really like offer Jordan this, this opportunity. Like I've loved seeing how Asher has matured. Like he's probably like one of the most mature people on the show, and he went from being the guy that was like, just taking shortcuts and as a high school player, and not being that leader, to then becoming a leader on the team, and then now becoming like a coach. For me, just watching him get to that point where now he can really have that conversation with Jordan and say, hey, we want you. I just like that feels like such a good, I don't say happy ending because it's not the ending for Asher, but it's just kind of a good evolution to his story and his character.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I liked him when he was eating the hush puppies. He was like, oh, this is good. Like, I was like, I never had that. So you're just eating and enjoying it. But like you said, it was just like his maturity has definitely been something out the show that I definitely didn't think was possible, but it was like, okay. Even with him and Jamie, that situation, like I actually really enjoyed their relationship, and I didn't think I was gonna like them. So
yeah, I'm still not sure. I like him being in a serious relationship. I don't know about how much I like her and them too, but I like his maturity to be in a serious relationship, and even just his interactions with JJ as well. Like just him just playing that like how did he become like this kind of like mentorish figure in JJ's life? Like that's just that's amazing. So any other ups that you had on your list?
I have Jordayla, but I don't feel like that would be part of a downer.
Yes.
I didn't like some of that, so I would say just seeing them, but let's
go there then, because I feel like we've gone through our ups. Like let's talk about that as a first down, like Jordayla, or a potential down. Like maybe there's mixed reviews on that.
I like the scene. I just didn't like the fact that she still wants to keep it a secret. And it's like, at this point, who cares? Like, you have like, I just feel like it's just kind of like, it was cute at first, but now it's like, okay, be out, who cares? And then her maybe feeling some type of way about him moving. And I don't feel like she's very honest with that part. So I was just like, okay. And the long walks on the beach, I was mad about. I was like, we didn't even see that.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
And exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. Like that was one of my downs as well. Just her wanting to still hide the relationship. It's just like, man, Jordan's so excited and he's such a good guy. Like this is the relationship that a lot of fans in the beginning didn't want to see. But the chemistry has been so good between the two of them. I like, don't get me wrong, I like to see them sneaking around. It's fun to watch them sneak around and have fun and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, y'all are in college, like it's like, like there's, take the relationship seriously. So that's definitely a down for me. I talked on my list. I had Clay, this whole Clay and Patience thing. Let's talk about that.
I just want him gone. I don't understand. I feel like I've been seeing like lately, people are talking about, well, Layla hasn't said anything to Patience about being a friend, like ask. I'm like, she asked multiple times since last episode, are you okay with everything? And Patience been saying, yeah, I'm okay. But you have that, after her and Clay and Layla had that conversation at the end, she's sitting there looking sad. So I'm like, what's wrong with that situation? Why are you feeling down? Like, what is that about? Like, we're not seeing what she's really down about. And it's like, she's okay with it. And I'm just like, I'm kind of annoyed with that situation. Even Clay being there just annoys me, because I'm like, you're sitting too comfortable in that chair.
And it's so funny because when his character was first introduced and he was like loving Layla, he was like such a like a likable character. And he's gone to the complete, which it speaks to him as an actor. He's gone to the complete other side where you're like, yo, I hate this guy. But at the same time, she heard him. She did hurt his feelings. Yeah, that was definitely a down for me. Any others for you? Did you have any other downs from the finale?
I would say the Morris Chestnut thing kind of was like, especially when he was like the Billy situation. In a sense, I understand Billy's thing, but like, not really giving Coach Kenny the time to play with it and just kind of like having him there. I was just like, okay, well, what was that about? Yeah, I could have, if you felt that type of way about bringing Billy on, you could have had that. And then instead of leading Kenny on to be thinking like, oh, after the conversation we had, something else was going to change.
Mm-hmm. That's true. No, definitely. Yeah, the worst your Chestnut character. As soon as they introduced him, you can tell like there was a little something was a little sketchy and off about him. So it'd be interesting to see what he's like. How he evolves in like the next half of the season. That'll definitely be interesting. Anything you're looking forward to, like just like next season, like anything? Is there any like storylines or anything that you're kind of looking forward to or not next season, but the next half of this season?
I definitely want to see how Spelivia gets back together. Like from that preview, it looked like he was kind of jealous, and then we have Alicia back. So it's like, what's that situation about to happen? And like it looked like they're at a party or something. So I'm interested to see that. Definitely interested to see what Jordayla do. Like, it looked like they have the angst coming up. So it's like, is Clay going to be a factor in this, or is he done, wanting to be a secret? Like, is he going to move? And like, what would that look like if he actually moves? And I would say Asher and JJ, because we didn't see JJ in the finale.
Yes.
So I'm like, they talked about it brief, but they didn't really talk about it. So I'm like, does anybody actually know what happened between Jordan and JJ and why he actually moved out? So I'm interested to see, like, do they actually tell everybody what the real, or Spencer, if they really know the truth behind that, because nobody said nothing. And I'm like, they had a fight over Layla, honestly, and he moved out because y'all was getting on him. So, and he was like, I had no regrets. So I'm like, I'm interested to see, like, is JJ and Jordan going to have a conversation? Are they going to still be friends? Like, because they didn't explain that.
Yeah. And the other thing with JJ too is he even going to be like on the team, like come next season, because obviously he has Jabari is going to be playing his position. So that may cause an even bigger rift between him and everybody else. So we'll see how that goes. But this was great. It was nice having you on. I got to have you on again sometime.
Yes,
this is definitely good. If people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
My Twitter is Kimberlie Love, and then my Instagram is Kimmy_from_the_block.
Awesome. Once again, this is Kemberlie Spivey, all the way from Houston, Texas. She's an entertainment reporter, entertainment journalist, and All-American super fan.
Yes.
8 out of 10 on the scale. And for myself, this is your boy KB the Boss, ShifterMagazine.com. You can find me on all social media platforms at KB the Boss _. And that's it. We're out. Peace.